I'm going to show you some stretches and exercises that I've learned to do that help with um, preventing overuse injury with playing the bass, and also just kind of helps my mobility with this very physical instrument that we play. So the kind of main parts of the body that these exercises focus on are the shoulders and also the hands and fingers. And they kind of end up helping a few other things like our forearms and maybe some other muscles. But these are parts of the body that for me, I've noticed that I often kind of get a lot of tension or pain as I'm playing, and so I found it really helpful to have these exercises. The first is some stretches that we can do with the bass for our shoulders, and it's where you put your hand on top of your scroll like this, and then maybe you stand your bass up so that it stretches your shoulder muscle, and I think it also kind of stretches some of your arm muscles as well. Maybe I just kind of lean in a little bit so I feel that stretch, hold it for 20 to 30 seconds, and then I switch arms. Same thing, hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. You kind of stretch kind of this part of your shoulder. Another stretch that you can do for your shoulders is if you have a wall corner, you put both hands on either wall in front of the corner, and you lean in, hold it for a little bit, and then that's that stretch. So again, just that's putting either hand on the side of the wall at a corner, and then you can lean in and it stretches your shoulders and also some of your chest muscles. And the last shoulder exercise that I want to show you is shoulder rotations. I learned from one of my teachers. It's kind of similar to some swimming strokes, like a backstroke or a breaststroke, where you hold your arms out and then you just kind of roll them. I'm more going backwards right now. So it's kind of like a backstroke if you're swimming. And I do this until maybe my shoulders start to feel tired, or maybe about a minute. Doesn't need to be a whole lot. And then I'll do the other way, like a breaststroke. So I'm rolling my arms forward. All right. So again, maybe about a minute each, or until you feel tired. But the way that helps is because playing the bass, like your shoulder is doing a lot of small movements. Your arm moves a lot, right, if you shift and such, but your shoulder isn't moving a ton, but it's not moving big movements, but it is moving quite a bit, so it can get tired and tense, and those muscles can get tired. So doing the big movements like the shoulder rotations kind of helps counteract the small movements you do when you're playing. All right. The other thing is our hands. They can get pretty tired. We use our hands a lot when playing the bass. There can be tension when we're holding the bow with our thumb and maybe the fingers, but probably mostly the thumb. So I suspect a lot of people get tension. In my left hand, especially when I'm playing something very technical, that requires a lot of movement and it's a lot of notes. My forearm can get tired, maybe part of my hand, maybe part of my thumb. So something that's helpful is to do these finger extensions where you have your hand relaxed and then you stretch out your fingers as much as they'll go, and then you relax it again and stretch them out. You do a few repetitions of that, right? And that kind of just counteracts all the moving that you do. Another thing you can do is stretching your fingers with your other hand. So I use one hand to pull my fingers back on the other, not too much, just enough until you feel the stretch, and you might even feel a bit of a stretch in your forearm muscle down here. I do it with my other hand. All right, maybe hold it for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, maybe not longer than that. Then you can do that with your thumb muscles. Just pull back a little bit to stretch it. You can pull the other thumb back. That can be very helpful. Another thing I do for my thumb muscles is I massage them. Right? I usually do this when I'm waiting for something in rehearsal or wherever it is, or watching TV. You can just massage your thumb muscles a little bit because they work hard. They work hard to hold the bow and to finger the strings, and so just massage them, and it kind of helps loosen up those muscles. I can do that with both my thumbs. All right. Those are most of my exercises that I do regularly, and you can do those before your practice. That's not a bad idea. It helps warm up your muscles, get them ready for all that movement you're going to do when you play the bass, and the stamina that you're going to be working on. It's also not a bad idea to do it after you play to loosen up everything that all the muscles and joints you've been using. Some things you can do while you're waiting for, like in a rehearsal, if you're waiting for the conductor to talk to another section of the orchestra, like I can do my stretches on my bass, or I can do my hand stretches while I'm waiting. So that can be a good opportunity to do that as well. Other things that are just good overall are, maybe do some abdomen exercises like sit-ups or crunches. If you do those maybe like a few for a minute or so every day, that can be really good for a lot of your body, but also helps your back. I do a lot of sitting when I play, and so that can make it so my back gets some injury or gets sore from sitting a lot. And so things like doing sit-ups or doing squats, where you put your feet shoulder width apart, keep your back straight, and then pretend like you're going to sit down. I do those every couple of days, and that kind of helps strengthen my legs, but also strengthens my back, which is helpful. If you stand a lot, then you might not have that much of a problem, but those are good things to kind of just strengthen all of your body muscles. So those are my exercises that I do. I hope that's helpful.